sorry.
You can say I'm sorry for being late.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry for being late.
Why? How was it not your fault?
Give me your opinion on this. I tell Jacob I'm going to pick him up at 4 o'clock from school.
Your son.
Yes.
Not just a random kid.
I picked up the random kid at 2, but I was done by 4.
Okay.
So I pick up Jacob. I said, Jacob, 4 o'clock. He goes, pick me before basketball practice. I go, okay. So I'm waiting outside of his school. And
By the way, this is already your fault because you had kids.
Yes. But not really.
That's a good point.
4:10. I text him. I go, listen, I'm leaving at 4:15. I'm not your taxi. I'm leaving.
I mean, he is your Uber, but you're not his taxi. And I think that's fair because you have raised him to be your Uber.
This is my car.
Yeah.
My cars, my time.
My rules.
My rules. And you know what? There's a...
And if practice is over, practice is over.
There's public transportation. There's bus system. And, you know, he says he wants a car, and I want him to have a car. I'm not buying him a fucking car. My deal with him is I'll double whatever you put in, but I'm not buying you a car because I don't think you learn anything from that. So if he wants a $5,000 car, he's got to find $2,500.
Wow, sucks to live at Josh's house.
I bought my first car.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think what did I do? First of all, I think my first car was like $200.
Right, so, but I think you appreciate it more, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So 4:15 comes, and I go, I'm leaving. Now, and he called, and then I'm driving because I know how to get here. And, I'm not his taxi, but I am Beth's. So Beth called me. It was like, he's waiting outside of school. And I said, I left. And she was like, well, either you go back and get him or I'm going to have to get in the car and go get him. And I was like, does that mean I'm going back to get him? And she said, yes. But I get to him and I was like, hey, I'm not your taxi. And he goes, well, practice ended, but then coach had a seniors only meeting. I go, what time did practice end? He goes, 4. I said, how far away was your bag from you? And he goes, 25 feet. I go, you walk over to your bag and you pick up the phone and you text and you see the 27 texts you got from me and you say, hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. And then I tell you honestly whether I can stay or I can't.
Right.
But you're going to figure it out. And so, but do you think...
Did you put him up for adoption?
I would, but nobody would take a 17-year-old. I already asked.
That's a hard one to
Did I show you that picture? All right, let me show you the picture afterwards. I might have erased it. Shit. Okay.
It's not something awful that I won't be able to get out of my head ever, is it?
No.
Okay.
Okay, but let me ask you something. Ready? Because I differed with Beth. Was I out of line leaving him? I've left. I leave them all the time. You tell me a certain time, I'll be there. I'll even give you 5 or 10 minute leeway. But we have these phones. So it's not 1970 where like, well, I was stuck in class and I couldn't. Right. I get that. You have one of those fucking things.
I'm sure leaving a practice and coaches yell at you and stuff. But if they know your parents are waiting for you, you're allowed to text.
Practice ended and then they started a little meeting. He could have walked over when everyone was getting a drink. He could have checked his bag. He knows I'm there at 4. Do you think it's out of line me leaving?
Well, what did he say when he said why? What was his reason for not going to get his bag and text you?
He said, Coach called, it said senior only. And I go, okay. I go, so why didn't you go? He was like, well, so we had to go right to the meeting. I go, oh, you didn't get a drink of water? And he goes, no, I got a drink of water. I was like, oh, okay. So after you get your drink of water.
Or you just say to your coach, I have to text my dad. So
anything. I have to check my phone, anything. I have, when he was 8, I left him in the grocery store. I told him, I go, fuck yeah. I said, we're leaving. And he was like, I don't want to leave. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to check out. And this is where he tests. And I fucking left him. I left him. Hey, here's the deal.
And then when did you go back and get him?
8 seconds. I mean, he ran outside. I was in the parking lot pulling out.
He just followed you, yeah.
He ran out crying. And I was like, dude, here's the deal. I'll tell you who is in control of this fucking ship. Me.
Well,
so when I say it's time to go, it's fucking time to go.
Well, what was his also like? How could he have gotten home from school?
You take a bus. He's almost 18 years old.
Yeah.
He's 6'3". I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Right. So he's gonna take a bus, or he can be there when he said he's gonna be there, or he can text me. Have the decency, and I said, here's what you do. If you don't text me and I'm waiting 20 minutes, what you're telling me is that your time is more important than my time. And that's my big thing when you show up to dinner, right? And someone meets you at dinner and they're 20 minutes late. What they're telling you is, listen, I know you were here on time, But my time's more important than your time.
Yeah, you would really hate my friend Jackie.
Oh, I would leave. I leave.
I mean, usually there's a group of us, but she is notorious. Like, we all will, in a group text, be like 8 p.m., and then we'll all text together and be like, we're going to 8:30, but we all told Jackie 8, right? Like,
really?
You know, oh, yeah, it's that. Like, she's...
But why tolerate that? So for me, I leave. I leave.
a problematic person.
But I leave. I will leave. I like to leave people. And I've done that. There was a friend of ours who was always late. You know what we did? We would say, hey, let's go here. And then there'd be a backup plan. By the way, if Tyler's not here by 8:15, where are we going? And he would show up and be like, where the fuck are you guys? And we were like, well, we changed plans when we got there. Oh, you didn't know? Because you didn't fucking show up on time.
That's awesome. Poor Tyler.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to teach them like the lesson to respect the time or whatever. But did Beth think that you shouldn't have done that?
Well, it was going to be a 20-minute drive for her, so she was like, I don't think you should leave him.
Right.
And I get it. It was
no, but you're also like, but on top of it, you're like, we changed the time of the podcast so that I could spend time with you. So now I got to get to my fucking job.
Yeah.
Well, I call this a job loosely, not because it doesn't work for us, but because a job pays.
Mm-hmm.
But
difference between being a hooker and a slut.
Yeah, we're just sluts out here.
We're a little slutty.
Sluts.
Are you still high?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. I was like, Lee's thinking a lot of things are funny that I,
You still high?
I like.
I got to get one of those brownies.
Oh God, don't do it.
So, do you think? Listen, I think it's one of the problems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if he was 5, you should have left him.
No,
I'm not even positive about the 8-year-old story, but that means pretty funny that he. But you also knew you weren't gonna leave him.
Listen, I'm also.
He was leaving him in like a suburban Sherman Oaks.
Yeah,
it's not like he's leaving him.
And here's my thing: is like, look, it's a calculated risk. Are there people who take kids? Yes. Did I think they were in that Ralph's that day? I was rolling the dice. I mean,
you also just walked out and he ran out behind
yes,
you. It's not as if
yes.
you really. But
my thing is like, for me, in general, parents do not draw lines with their kids. So I draw when I say I'm leaving, I'm leaving. And the whole thing about leaving him there was, hey, we don't throw tantrums. You see tantrums. I go, we don't throw tantrums. As soon as you throw a tantrum, we leave wherever we are. Either we leave or some other shit goes down. But that's what happened, is that he threw a tantrum because he couldn't get the cereal he wanted. I said, we're out of here. He goes, no, I want to stay. I go, no, I told you, there's no tantrums in public. We're leaving. And he goes, I'm not leaving. I said, okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
And he goes, where are you going? I was like, I'm going home. He was like, you won't leave me. I was like, oh, watch me.
Yeah. Well, when they say that, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it as an excuse in LA, and granted, there's a lot of traffic here, but it's like this wasn't the only reason, but I stopped doing a podcast with somebody, and one of the reasons was because they were late every week.
Well, I feel like the traffic thing, it is I mean, it's legitimate here because sometimes, like, out of nowhere, you're like, no, this definitely shouldn't be more than like a 45-minute
weird,
trip
right?
or whatever.
Sometimes, yeah.
Every once in a while, you're just like it's not moving. I mean,
Every
that's
once
happened
in a
when
while.
Obama comes in town and the fucking thing, or there's a SIG alert and the freeway shuts down. Like, there can be a reason, yeah, but if it's every week, traffic, you're like, well, you know the route here at this point.
Yeah,
so.
you know it during rush hour, it's going to be bad, so you just take different ways And it's when I was working like a real job, like my boss didn't care about traffic. I could call once a week, once every 2 weeks if there was something crazy, but if I had to be there at 9, I had to be there at 9.
You know, I got to tell you, the first time I heard the term SIG alert, I was like, people are really serious about not smoking, I guess, here in California. They don't want anyone on the freeways.
No smoking.
No smoking on the freeways.
I'm still not sure what it stands for.
Does it stand? Is it an acronym?
No, it was it was explained to me that there was somebody in LA who used to do traffic on the news. I don't know if it was TV or radio, and then it was called a SIG alert.
His name is Tommy Sig?
Something SIG, yeah.
That's a sad name.
I have a couple things I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Because I really...
Let's talk.
Let's talk. That's what we should have called this podcast.
By the way, I'm drinking this weird green tea.
Sobe.
It doesn't taste very good.
Green tea doesn't.
It's green tea with vitamin C, ginseng, guarana, and rose hips.
Isn't guarana
Girl,
the
you got
best
some
thing?
rose hips.
Girl.
Because
my parents are coming tomorrow for a week.
You had the funniest tweet today because I hate eating dinner. At
Oh,
5
I
p.m.
know. Yes, I said. I was like, my parents are coming here tomorrow, so for the next week I'll be eating dinner at 5 p.m.
fucking hate
Which
that.
not only am I going to eat dinner at 5, by fucking 8 I'm going to be starving again because that's when I usually eat. And
where are they
then-
staying?
At my house. In my guest room. No. Yeah. I mean, they stayed with me before, and they're super easy. Like last time though, I was full time writing, so I would leave during the day. And now we're gonna wake up and we're gonna be like, "Hey guys," like I have to read you. I have to read you. This.
So much for masturbating with your pants around your ankles on the couch.
How long do they stay for?
They're staying for a week. They're going to be here from Wednesday to Tuesday. And we're going to an Ellen taping on Thursday.
You are?
Yeah. I mean, she wants to go to see Ellen. They don't make a lot of requests. That's it. That and Luke Bryan, which I'm going to have a nice time at Luke Bryan. And they'll have
Where's that show?
At the Hollywood Bowl.
When?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, you can't go with me. I mean, you're not invited.
Oh, I'm not?
No.
Oh, well. I guess that plan.
Yeah, you said, oh, shit, like, you're like, oh,
I was thinking I was just going to have to go.
Yeah, you could go.
We're going to have to just put it once and for all, side by side, me and Luke Bryant.
You don't want to stand next to Luke Bryan.
Oh, I called him Luke Bryant all day on CMT today.
What? You did? And they let you?
Luke Bryant. No wonder they were laughing. I was calling him Luke Bryant all day.
On the Country Music Television Network, you called him by the wrong name and nobody corrected you?
Talking about how I was such a huge fan of Luke Bryant.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's hysterical. I was like, nobody. No, but so I went grocery shopping.
What do you buy? What do they ask for?
Well, here, let me ask you.
Okay.
Let me just read to you this text. You're leading. I sent my mother a text. I said, what would you guys like to eat? Mostly breakfast and lunch. And, because... they do that. I don't really ever sit down and fix those things. Like I make myself a quick breakfast, whatever.
What is a quick breakfast for you?
I sometimes make a smoothie with a protein powder, almond milk, and some blueberries. Blueberries. Or every once in a while I make I just like to boil hard boiled eggs and like maybe a slice of Canadian bacon or something.
You ever make a nice healthy French toast?
No, I don't know how to do that.
What's healthy French toast?
I have frozen French toast that I made and frozen pancakes, gluten-free frozen pancakes. They're delicious.
The healthy French toast is all about the bread and the syrup that you make. Because an egg is not bad for you. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, there's one egg is like 70 calories, but egg whites is like 35 calories. So
yeah, but egg yolk is that crazy lady
has all those nutrients.
Yeah, and that crazy woman Jackie from that show Workout that I used to love to watch and wish that Bravo would bring back in case anyone.
Your friend Jackie, who's late.
No, this woman Jackie Jackie Warner.
Jackie Brown.
Warner.
Jackie Brown.
Warner.
Jackie Brown.
I remember the show.
Yeah, it was the best show ever. And I remember she said you can lose weight by eating like whole eggs. Like actually, if you eat them, because they have a lot of like.
It's all. Listen, if you were going to eat one food, it's from what I understand, as close to the perfect food as you can get is either an egg or a yam. Like if you were going to go,
yam. It's such an unmanly word for you to say. A yam. Oh, I'd like a yam today.
Why'd you go Irish?
I don't know, yam. I don't know.
Oh, eat with me, Lucky Charms.
Give me a yam. Hold on.
Was that what accent was
I
that?
don't know what that was. I was just having a nervous breakdown.
But everyone, that's what a stroke sounds like, by the way.
So I sent my mom a text. I said, what would, mostly breakfast and lunch, because we'll probably go out for most dinners, and then I have, I can make a chicken risotto thing. It's, the only thing I can make, and I'll make that for, one dinner. This is what I get back. Eric is my stepfather. Eric wants wheat English muffins and OJ. I eat eggs every morning with turkey bacon. Do you use Pam? I put the eggs in a bowl and spray it and cook them in the microwave. I do low carb. I've lost 15 pounds that way. For lunch, we just eat turkey and cheeses, provolone, cheddar, wheat bread for Eric. I don't eat much bread. Fruit like tangerines, apples. Then the text stops. Then the new one comes on. Oops, not done. Got a new phone and it's haunted. Just bottled water and I drink green tea. I've been eating a lot of salads. And I wrote back, sorry I asked.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I love that she throws in, just have some turkey and cheese and some eggs and turkey bacon would be great. I need to know how she cooks them. I need to know that she's been choosing the low carb, but Eric has
good.
not.
I like to know how she cooks her eggs in the microwave.
In the microwave, it sprays them in a bowl. It's my favorite. She also does that with bacon. She's like, well, it's so good. And I'm like, it's not good in the microwave, and I don't think it's good for you.
It's not.
I do egg whites in the microwave because they're hard to cook on the pan.
No, they're not. You just
cook them.
They always, maybe my pan was too hot, but they always kind of film up. They don't really ever cook.
They don't cook?
You're
not doing it right.
I'm not.
Yeah, you got to turn on the heat.
The stove on.
Yeah.
No, I think it was too hot. It kind of just did that film like egg kind of does when it gets too hot, I think.
Yeah.
So I just do the egg whites in the microwave. I'm lazy.
I mean, who cares at this point? We're all going to die of something. But I just, I don't know. I mean, I just make eggs in a pan like a normal person. I don't know why my mom doesn't do that. It's like, it's just as easy, if not easier.
And they're fucking, I don't do the egg white anymore. You know what? I really have, there was a point in time where I was obsessed with how much body fat I had and how cut I was, and since I've given that up, I am like 800 times happier. Like the egg white conversation, or looking at the calorie. Now, I listen. It's easier for me to say because I got my genes from my dad, and my dad is 78 and works out for an hour every morning, 6 a.m. and is ridiculous. But just letting go of that little bit.
He'd be annoying to have over.
You don't even know that he's worked out. He's awake and back at the house and walked your dog and made you breakfast before you wake up.
He sounds like he'd be awesome to have over.
It's amazing. Like, I'll get up at 7:30 to go work out, and he's already making eggs. I'm like, you want to work out? He was like, oh, I was at the gym at 5. Fucking what?
I know. I think my parents, they're quiet. I mean, my parents are pretty quiet. I can close off like the whole
parents are coming
hallway
too.
and everything to my room, which is nice. But they'll get up. They'll probably make breakfast or something. But at some point, because it's not her house, I explained to her.
It's Run's house.
Well, no, I explained to her, you don't come in and fucking go, when are you getting up? When you're at my house. So you can do that. You do that at your house, and you think that's funny. Don't fucking do it at my house.
If I'm save that for when my mom comes.
Yeah, you do it. You say, this is my fucking house, and you can get up and entertain your goddamn self.
My mom and dad will be here on November 7th. They'll stay for a week at my house. But my parents actually, they get up in the morning. They're extra quiet. They clean the house. They walk my dog. They make breakfast. And I wake up. I'm like, this is great. How about you guys move in? Beth and Jacob will move out. And it'll be perfect. You'll make me breakfast every morning.
That sounds nice. I bet my mom would probably. Well, if she makes me breakfast, I won't want to eat it because it'll be microwaved eggs. But but they might. They'll do that.
How's the working out in the?
Great. I'm down 62 pounds. So.
I mean, you look great, buddy.
Thank you. I'm trying. It's kind of annoying just because of plateaus, but it's going well.
Yeah. Well, you know that's gonna happen.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the way it was explained to me is like your body's getting used to that new weight. So it's like kind of a good sign to hit plateaus. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen, and then you got to change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you saw Renee Zellweger's picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple questions. First, if I didn't know what she had looked like before, I don't know that I would look at her and go, she's had a lot of plastic surgery done. Do you know what I mean? But the new Renee Zellweger kind of looks like Juliette Lewis. And I will say this. I think people are talking about it because it's a big shock, right?
She does look very, very different.
Looks very different.
I had seen that though already in some.
A lot of it has to do with the eyes, right? Because her signature look was I just ate a lemon or I just smelled a fart.
I was tweeting about this today because I was like, first of all, the people that are making fun of her, the media, where it's like, who can even recognize this face, would be the same people who are like, Renee Zellweger looks like shit old.
Yes.
You know, so that, you know, that's the frustrating part. And I'm the first to admit I've made fun of like Bruce Jenner or whatever, but that's all. I think that's
a little
fair.
different.
But her, you know, the funny thing is like it's going to sound crazy. I also have droopy eyelids. I'll say, look at them, everybody. If I put my droopy eyelids, I have them.
Yeah, but you don't look like you smell the fart all day every day.
I know my dad has them. No, but I'm just saying it is a thing where like people. I'm not joking. My gynecologist, who I just went to 2 weeks ago, told me I should get my eyelids.
Let me just so you know,
taken up.
Maybe that was that code for something. Your eyelids.
No, that's why I was like, believe me. At first, I was like, if you can see them from where you are, you're right. I do need to have them.
If your gynecologist is calling your lippy things eyelids, and if she's like, you need to get those taken up, you'd be like,
No, it was when my pants were back on and we were just talking, and she was like, you can get an eyelid surgery for that and medication, like it's covered.
But I'm looking at you. I don't even know what you're talking about.
They're a little I have like a little more of a like a puffy eyelid which was what she had, which I swear to God, it's what Chewy had too, and nobody seemed to mind when he got his. Like
that was the least of his.
Like holy shit. If you let it go, like it causes like sight problems, right? And I'm not saying that's why she did it. I'm just saying there is a thing where people have like eyelids and they're not thrilled about it. I get it. And maybe one day I'm gonna have I don't think I'm gonna have mine taken up. But
Sarah, my thing is this: is that one, I think you're 100% correct. Like damned if you do, damned if you don't. People make fun of her fart smelling face, and they make fun of what she's like. But for me, and for me, I think Renee Zellweger can decide to look like it's Renee Zellweger's face.
It is
so
her
she
face.
can look however the fuck she wants to look.
Do you ever get afraid that you're going to say Renee Zellweger? Because I always do that. I've done that like 20 times.
How is W and N anywhere?
Because I think it's because the N in Renee.
I never thought of it, and I'm going to be scared every time now.
It's terrible. I said it one time, and then I was like, "Oh my god, that's not like." I was like, "I'm so would never."
I told you what I said.
I think I said Renee Zellweger. That's why I got confused. I was probably drinking.
Can I tell you what I tweeted out one time? I told you this, right?
No.
Where somebody tweeted something to me, and I tweeted back to them big time. But you know what letter is next to the B? The N. So I wasn't even looking. I didn't know I sent it out. Right? I sent back, and then I checked my tweets like an hour later, and there was like 200 of them. Like, what did you just say? Did you just say Nick time? And I was like, what? And I looked back, and I was like, oh shit, because someone said to me, I think
what does that even mean?
The question was something like, are you ready for like Celtics or basketball season? And I wrote back. I thought I wrote back big time.
Oh, it's even worse.
I know.
Basketball.
Let me. Okay, I know it was so bad. It was the worst thing I've ever.
Oh, you can't come back from that, really.
No, I unfriended the person and blocked them.
Yeah,
it wasn't their fault. I just didn't know what else to do. Is it because look, is it unfair though? Is it unfair? Here's what I wanted to ask you because you are a woman. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I feel not sad that look, plastic surgery, if that's what you want to do, if you want to get fake tits, if you want to get a fake ass, if you want to get this fat sucked out of your stomach, what? I mean, it's not my body, right? So whatever. I'm more
were those just suggestions to me? Or
yes.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I actually wrote them down.
Yeah.
And
I felt like they were hints.
By the way, not in that order.
Right.
But
stomach first.
My thing is that I feel I start as I get older, and somebody with a daughter now. And I had a daughter for a while, obviously, but a daughter who's now older and like really understands body image and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I am more upset that as a beautiful woman, and she is or was, however you want to put it, that we are not allowing people to age gracefully and still associate that with beauty.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because there is a thing. Like, I remember I was one of the first.
Look at
people
Clooney,
that was
Sarah.
Like, yeah, I was one of the first people like with Meg Ryan. Like, to me, the whole lip, because hers was all the lips. I feel like I don't know if she did anything else, but to me, I was just like, why do you got to put those fucking injections in your lips? It's so you look crazy, you know. But and I don't feel like the lip. I do feel like the lip thing is separate. I don't feel like that's a society thing. I think that's just a weird vanity thing because I don't think anyone in society is like, you need bigger, fuller duck lips. Like maybe they are. I might be wrong. So, but it's a weird thing because I do feel like that, like the media and everything, and like is so responsible for it, and like the Hollywood and the image and all this stuff. But then at the same time, you can choose to be like, well, fuck that. But at the same, then there, you know,
the images you're bombarded with, Sarah.
You're bombarded with, and also I think it takes a fucking like. It's hard not to like now. This poor woman, you know, she did this, and she obviously had. I mean, I feel like if you succumb to it to that extent, you obviously have, like image issues as it is. But she was so cute with her little puppy.
But the image issues came from everybody telling her she looked like she smelled a fart.
Right. Well, yeah, but also they came from us. But also with you, yes, I think then you become beaten down, and
okay,
then,
but let me ask
and then
this.
you go, fuck it, I don't know what else to do. And now you do. Now you go and do this, and now you can't. Now nobody likes that either, so you can't fucking win.
But that's what I'm saying. But here's where I feel like women and girls are up against it. Is you take someone like Kim Kardashian, who's a beautiful woman, but she's had a ton of work done.
Yeah.
So you're taking somebody who's already beautiful, and what she feels so much pressure that beautiful isn't enough, that she has to strive for perfect. It scares me for my daughter. Do you know what I mean? Because look, you can never be perfect, but to strive for it, if you're striving for perfect and you never be perfect, you never feel good about yourself.
I think there's two camps of it, though. I think there are the people who start to go, well, fuck, I'm getting older, and people are saying that, people are making fun of my face. Even, I mean, Renee Zellweger has been, the people have been making fun of her face since she was young, I guess. Again, same people that called her squinty face are the ones that are now making fun of her face. Right. So pick a fucking side, you know? But like, But I think there's two camps of it. I think there's some that are just vanity. Like Kim Kardashian, I don't think anyone was ever saying anything about her face.
No.
She changed it on her own. And I'm not saying she's not in a position where she's always battered.
Pressure, though.
It's definitely pressure.
Right.
Like she can't even leave the house without full face and makeup because someone's fucking chasing her with a camera.
Exactly.
So I get it. I'm just saying I do think like there's almost like two weird camps of it. Like people that are so pressured into it and some people who are like, you know, but like, I don't feel pressure to get a little Botox right between my eyes at all, but I totally get it.
But here's the two things. Like
I'll say right now, look at that.
If you take Rob Lowe, right, and there's a lot of people in this town. Look, if you work in this town, to say I'm not going to get any work done, I'm going to age gracefully. Good luck. I mean, look, even Meryl Streep, who we've all said age gracefully, has done a little stuff. She's just done it to where she still looks like she's aged, but she still tucks under the chin and all that stuff.
Oh, like Jennifer Aniston. I mean, there's plenty is going on. It's just that she goes to someone really good who hides it well. And listen, and again, to each their own. She looks wonderful. Like good for her.
And look, in this business, like I said, few and far between who are going, I'm walking in doing nothing and I'm going to be fine aging, because the truth of the matter is that this business just doesn't work like that. But my thing is like Kim Kardashian.
Think Susan Sarandon has done anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's so pretty.
She's tucked here.
You can't tell though.
This little spot here is the big one. This is the first one.
Really?
So, yeah, because everybody gets a little bit of that turkey gobbler, so you just tuck it up a little bit. I'm gonna get that water.
You can't just like pin it back.
You can just pin it back if you want, right here.
No, I'm good with my weird. Take gross green tea.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. You know what? I feel bad for her. Thankfully, I feel bad for her just because a beautiful woman, and maybe she wasn't working, and I don't know. I feel bad for her. She looked, by the way.
She looks different. She looks really good.
Yeah.
Like to me, if I saw her without like a side by side comparison, and I mean, I did see her at an award show recently, not at one. I mean, on TV at one. I don't get to go to those, but I saw her like on TV, and I was like, oh, she looks so different. Like, so this was months ago. So
yeah.
Did you recognize her?
I didn't. No, I didn't think it was her. And then when they said her name, I was like, that's actually not Rosé Nellweger. See, I can't say her name right now. I would have said Nellweger. I mean, I can't say her name.
Nellweger is better than the other way.
My point to you, Renee Zellweger, is instead of your face, change your fucking name. Because I can't say it. If you're listening, with one of your old ears,
no.
that you used to have. No, I feel like it is. I feel like it sucks because even though I don't recognize, you won't recognize her. Also, she does. She's still, like, if you didn't know, she still looks really good. Like to me, she doesn't look like someone separate. She doesn't look like someone who has
Juliette Lewis.
She doesn't look like someone who has had work done, though.
She looks like Juliette Lewis.
Right? But if you look at her face, you can't see, like, there's been work in there.
You put dark hair on that. That's Juliette. That looks like Juliette Lewis's sister.
Yeah, what did she I don't even know what she had done because she just looks totally different.
Yeah,
she got her eyes open.
She had her eyelids. She had what Chewie had, and nobody minded. She had her eyelids, like, it's like called, I forget what it's called, but they do it, like, under
Stop with the
insurance.
Chewie.
They do it with insurance because your eyes start to droop so much you can't see. My dad needs it.
Chewie had way more problems than the eyelids.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying he had it done and nobody seemed to mind.
I
don't know what else she had done. I mean, I think a lot because her face is like restructured.
Her mouth looks the same.
Demi Moore had a ton done, and to me, she doesn't even look like the same person either. But nobody seems to mind.
Should we talk about what's happening with the Seahawks, or just let that go?
What do you mean? What's happening with them?
They lost.
That they lost 2 games in a row. Yeah. You know what sucked about Sunday, and I was saying this to Lee. First of all, what really sucks is that I never watched fucking football before, and now not only am I watching it, I'm like,
how much did you have to pay for that game?
$39.95. By the way, which I was like, I thought it said before I never got the NFL Sunday ticket because I was like, oh, it seems like all the Seahawks games are played on the West Coast. Not their game, but I mean televised on the West Coast. And then this one, and even my fucking thing said Fox, but it was like a different, I guess Fox chooses, and they didn't have it on. So then I had to go on, and then today I just ordered the NFL Sunday tickets. So I don't have to go through that kind of anxiety again. But now I'm watching them and getting like all ramped up while I'm watching them. And now I need to watch them alone because if anyone's there.
I read some of your tweets that it's like me watching a game.
It's ridiculous, right? I'm like, what is happening to me? But then the biggest thing ever was, I don't know, you watched the game, right? Or did you?
No. I did not watch that game.
So did you see that? So John.
I saw the punt return.
The punt return, right. Now, the really shitty thing is, I don't believe there was anyone that didn't understand that wasn't his fault. I think everyone knew.
His fault. It's not his fault.
That's what I mean. I don't think there was anyone that was like, because a lot of punt returns, sometimes people are like, well, it was because it was a shitty punt. Like,
right.
They knew better. Or if he kicks it, I guess, to the wrong side. But the thing that sucked the most about that is, no, it wasn't his fault. And as he and I discussed later, he's like, I kick it in that situation. I kick it where I kicked it 100% of the time, and the whole team knows that. You know, well, I'm not saying he said that. I'm just saying that I heard that.
Well, here's the thing, Sarah, is that
but what sucks is the team, they fell for the oldest trick in the book, where someone's like, oh, the ball's over here, and then all the Seahawks chased that guy, and the ball was fucking on the correct side of the field where he was supposed to have punted it, and it gets returned for a touchdown, and now that affects his average. So he was like this in the top 2 for the entire season so far, and now he's like at the bottom. And it's not as if underneath it says, oh, but by the way, his punt got returned because the team fell for the old.
You're talking about his net average.
Yeah.
And
it sucks because he wants to be in the Pro Bowl and he deserves to be in the Pro Bowl. And now people are going to look at his average when they start to vote for the Pro Bowl, and they're just going to go, oh, he's.
No, because in the NFL, the players also have 1/3 of the vote for the Pro Bowl, so they get it.
They get it, but they're not by the time the voting goes down. They're not going to be like, I wonder if John Ryan. Like, they don't think that much. Believe me, they just look at what they're impressed by.
I get that, but I think here's the thing. I think players I look less at the actual stats and they vote for more the people that they've played against that they know are good.
Yeah, well, I think because he's been having such an amazing season. A lot of the people,
now, do you think some people will not vote for him because he's got red hair and he's Canadian?
I mean, I don't know why you have to be racist about it.
Which part is the race?
The redhead part.
Okay, here's my other question for today. I actually have 2, and then, okay.
I have hair on my mouth.
Okay, can you Google Rainn Wilson and the new show he's producing?
Rainn Wilson is a big Seahawks fan and a big John Ryan fan.
Okay.
Funny enough, he tweets about him.
All right. So he is also producing now a show for Fox, I think. It's called Hollywood and Vine. What's the name of the kid that was accused of rape? Cameron.
I can't believe
no,
you know
what?
this.
Hollywood and Vine. It's called. His name is Cameron. What?
Oh wait,
Curtis Lepore.
should I have not
Curtis
said,
Lepore.
Should I have not said anything good about Rainn Wilson? Is it about to be bad?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Rainn is producing a show though. There's some basically they're putting it on TV. It's basically 5 of the biggest Vine stars. It's called Hollywood and Vine. It's a half-hour comedy sitcom, about them and trying to make it in traditional Hollywood. One of the guys was accused of rape. What's
his name?
Cameron
Curtis Lepore.
Curtis Lepore. So he and correct me if I'm wrong, but he pleaded down, right?
He pled guilty to like an assault thingy, but like
a girl at one of his.
Another Vine girl.
Another Vine girl at one of the videos he was shooting hit her head and fell unconscious and woke up the next day, right?
They were apparently, I don't know. I'm disappointed that I know this, but they were dating at the time. She came over, and apparently she hit her head, and then he offered to help her, but then apparently he had sex with her while he was helping her.
Yeah, and she was kind of unconscious. And anyways, so he pled down. Now, Rainn is producing this show. This is my question for you, okay? I'm reading, and by the way, I totally get it, and I read on Twitter by a lot of prominent women on Twitter. I'm not going to mention their names. And they're getting on Rainn. How dare you, Rainn? Or are there plenty of talented people? Why are you doing a show with a rapist? Here's my question.
Has anybody said, Rainn, go away?
Yes. Okay. Come back when you're not raping somebody.
Right.
That's the new.
No, he didn't rape
it. No, he didn't rape it. No. And here's my thing, okay? And he pled it down and went through the judicial system, and I go back to this, and I keep going back to this, and I would do the same thing that I said with Mike Vick, and I'm asking you as a woman, if someone is accused of rape, and like I said, is that, and he pled it down, he went through the judicial system, and everything happened the way it's supposed to happen. I'm not saying that our judicial system is perfect, and I'm not saying it's always fair, but I'm saying he had his due process, and he basically did whatever deal he found. Can you find more details on the exact deal?
Yeah. Okay. Did he go to jail? Or?
He did not go to jail. But my question is this.
And so he pled down, meaning?
He pled down. He'll find out. My question is this. Is this something, because I'm reading about it, and I get the passion behind it, but look, our justice system is what it is. Are we now saying that once somebody's been accused of something or once somebody's been convicted of something, that they're not allowed to come back and do anything ever again? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I get it. Look, would I want to work with the guy? No. Do I know he has a reputation of being a bit of a douchebag? Yes. Did he do something terrible? He absolutely did.
Did he? I mean, did he? Or my main question would be: did he do it or not? Do we know? Did he admit it? Or
he pled guilty to felony assault, but nothing happened.
Okay, but
I think he got like probation.
Okay, but even
how do you end up? I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
I'll tell you how. Because listen to me, in America, and it's not a black and white issue anymore. It's money or not money. If you have money, you can get out of anything. Anything. If you don't have money, you can't. And not black or white, poor, rich. That's what it is. Dude has some money. Okay. And he's 30. Here's what bothered me more.
I'm more annoyed the fact that I think I make very funny Vine videos and nobody seems to care.
You sing very well on those. Dude, here's what bothered me more. He's like 30. She was, I think, 18 at the time. That is a little but much for me. My question for you is this, Sarah Colonna. And for everybody, I want to hear, actually, this is one that I do want to hear from you guys. 818-764-674 274.
No, two something 4.
284.
Yep.
This is the one I always, now I remember the last one, 6171.
Yes.
818-284-6171. My question is this. Here we go. Even if, say he did rape somebody. Let's just go. Say he got convicted of rape. He did his time. He did his 3 years, and he came out and he wanted to do a TV show. Do you have a problem with Rainn Wilson or anyone else, if he's funny and talented and done his time? Do you have a problem? Is that because here's what I know some people's argument with, yes, because he ruined somebody's life, and for that he doesn't get come back and have a normal life. But I would say, okay, well, where do you draw the line then? If you do armed robbery, you can give someone PTSD with that. You can traumatize them for life. Okay, does that mean that person is not allowed to come back and make a living? Where is the line for as far as a criminal goes? Are we making with these crimes are fine to come back from, and these are not?
I think, yeah, it's hard to say, but I do think with armed robbery, no matter what, you're still not suffering the same kind of violation as rape.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but there are people who get the gun to their head and they're never the fucking same. It's literally a PTSD. I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah, no, I know.
But you know what I mean? So I'm saying on the sliding scale, so what happens? Are we saying these 4 crimes are the ones child abuse, murder, rape? I
think what happens
you know what I mean? I'm asking.
I don't, I wish I knew this story better because I don't want to, I have no idea.
Will you read it?
And if,
I'll read it, but only thing I'll say is there's a reason why the charges didn't go through. Like, if there was enough evidence, it would have. So all I'll say is there are a lot of rapes, but there are also a lot of girls who can use this, and there's like a lot of stories of people saying I've been raped and then they're not.
Yes, I don't know what the case is for this one though.
So I'm not saying he didn't do it, but I'm just saying it's hard to blame somebody forever just because somebody accused you.
He was dating.
Right. Well, that is the difference. I understand that there are people who are falsely accused of violent crimes such as this, but if he wasn't falsely accused, or I have no idea if he was or not.
He did have sex with her. I think that's what it was. Do you have it up there, Lee?
There's a bunch. There's a long. I'm trying to
find
it.
He had sex with her while she was asleep. Okay. That's rape.
So Jesse flew to LA to see Curtis last August, but things didn't go well and they broke up. Jesse stayed in LA and a few days later got a concussion while shooting a Vine video. Curtis called her and offered to help her while she was recovering. The victim claims Curtis came over. She fell asleep and he allegedly raped her. And then the lawyer just said things don't always appear as they seem, and it was never really explained.
Right. It's hard to say it's impossible for him to say nothing happened if you're pleading to a felony assault.
Right.
So it's obviously something happened. But let's go past that.
Right.
Let's just go hypothetical, and let's just say he got convicted of rape. He comes out of jail. Rainn Wilson or whoever the fuck.
I mean, Mike Tyson is convicted rapist.
Okay,
and he's
right.
Making a living.
Thank you.
Totally fine.
So, but Rainn Wilson's getting beat up online. About not. Aren't there other funny people to work with in Hollywood? Why do you have to work with a rapist? My question is, at what point do we just say this is our judicial system? And is it okay for him to still make a living?
Well, the only thing that matters, because the production company and Rain knew about this.
Absolutely.
So the bottom line is this guy has multi-millions of followers, and they're like, well, listen, we're gonna get some Twitter backlash, but we're gonna be able to make this much more in advertising.
Well, I'll tell you something else. Look,
well, if it comes down to a money thing, for Rainn Wilson is doing fine for himself.
I don't think it
always
is.
Be fine.
I don't
so
think
then,
it is.
And they can all. Then that is disgusting.
I don't think it is. But and listen. I will tell you something else. The guy in question, from what I understand, I don't know him personally. From what I understand, not a good guy. He mocked her, the victim, after the case was settled on Twitter, like this tweet. If any of you would have sex with me voluntarily, and he mocked her on Twitter. The dude is, from what I understand, a bit of a scumbag. That's neither here nor there.
Well, honestly, that tweet alone means he shouldn't be able to work in this town.
Listen,
sorry, that's not like.
Agreed, I agree. But my question is to you. So, as a woman, where do you fall? Where's your sensibility fall?
It's hard to say who's responsible for it, whatever. But like you said, in a hypothetical, not being these specific people, I personally would not want anyone to be or to help anyone make money that is an admitted. Convicted felony assault against any human being, a woman or man. So I personally wouldn't want to work with that person.
But isn't there a chance? Isn't there a chance that some people get? Because my question, and I'm fascinated by this, Sarah. I really am, because allegedly now, and I don't believe this is true, but allegedly our judicial system is set up for people to be rehabilitated. When the truth of the matter is, jail only makes criminals. So let's just pretend that our judicial system actually does its job and rehabs people and blah blah blah. But if they've done their time, why aren't they allowed to come out and do what the rest of us do? Right? I understand felony assault, fucking terrible.
I think they are allowed to come out and do. I think that he can come out and he could get a job in many places. But I think when you put him in Hollywood and you put him in a high profile position to make a whole bunch of money and probably continue to act terribly. But and that's just me saying that. I don't know for sure if the person's the rehab. But I think what happens that just like with Michael Vick, and that people get mad because you're putting these people in a position of power. And fame, and giving them a lot of money to lead a fucking very elite type of lifestyle, and people get angry about that.
So what you're saying is possibly, look, he's allowed to come out and make a living, but because my worry of this would be this, and I'll tell you why.
I'm not saying it's my opinion that we should decide what type of living. I'm saying I believe that is why people get so upset.
Here's the thing:
a lot of people are scrambling.
I go back and forth a little bit. For me, part of it is our judicial system is what it is. We've set it up. If you want to make a change in that. But dude had his due process, whether I agree with it or not. It is the due process, and I think there are fucking a zillion holes in our judicial system.
Well, yeah, I also think we're talking about our people are supposed to come out and be reformed. But if he came out
they're not reformed.
and sent a tweet saying like, if you'll have voluntary sex with me, he's an asshole. A fucking piece of shit kid that got away with rape. It sounds like
my only problem is this. Is that, and I do believe this is systemic, and I don't know what to do about this. The only downfall I see, and again, because I go back to judicial system, I'm not saying I would want to work with them, but I'm not saying if somebody wants to work with them that I begrudge that at all. That's your fucking decision how you want to do business. My only problem is this. I think if you put somebody like that in a position of power, if you put somebody like that in a position where they're a lead on a TV show, I think it tells other victims of rape or assault, it doesn't really matter what you say.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I think it is a bigger.
You know what I mean?
It's a problem in this certain position.
Yeah, because it basically tells the victim, you're still living with it, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you came out
famous
because he's fine. So that is a problem I do have. Like, but
whereas if he was able to continue on and like nobody just stopped him from making a regular living, it wouldn't be in this person's face every day. It wouldn't be in our faces every day.
It's exactly like the Donald Sterling thing. It's like you can't make a law that someone can't work, but the companies or anybody has the right to decide that they don't want to work with you. So the only reason Donald Sterling got kicked out of the NBA was because it was so public, and the NBA was like, well, we're going to lose more money by having him in. Because he had done this for years.
It was a business decision. He's been racist. I mean, he's been an asshole and racist for years. Yeah,
So it's the same thing. So the production company, and whether or not Rainn Wilson was involved in this discussion or not,
he
was like, if he was a Vine person that had 2 views, then he wouldn't be on the show. They made a decision that
it's a total business decision.
I mean, because you can't make that rule that you can't hire rapists, but a lot of companies won't hire you because there's a lot of people who can be an accountant.
But I know. But here's the thing. Here's what I go back to is like, and you talk to people who come out of jail, and they'll tell you it's fucking impossible for me to get a job. It says felony right there in my application. It's impossible. So we're not. I go back and forth because we're not actually rehabbing these people, and not only are we not rehabbing them, when we send them out in the world, we're setting them up to fucking fail because we're giving them a ceiling for how far they can go. We say, do your time, come out and join society, but not really, because we're giving them a fucking ceiling as far as who will hire them and how far they can go. So, again, I go back to, is the kid a piece of shit? I've heard he is the biggest piece of shit. I don't know him personally. That's what I've heard. So I think it's up to a production company, but I don't know that we can.
I feel like it's a bummer that they hired him then. Yes. I mean, I would say, and this is speaking on just you guys that giving me this information because I don't know the story. But yeah, I do think it's a bummer. I think somebody who didn't, commit a felony assault against a woman deserves to probably
have a shot instead of him.
Yeah.
Are you saying in 818-2 846-1771 is the number. 818-284-6171.
We have a call coming in from somebody we probably want to talk to about other things too.
Hello? Hello, who is this?
Hello?
Who is this?
It's Justin.
Oh, it's Justin. Hey, Justin.
Hi, guys. It's Justin from Quincy.
What's
Hi,
up,
Justin?
I would love to give a quick shout out to Justin, who created a fucking website for us. Did you look at it?
Saw it. It's pretty
amazing. It looks so good.
Pretty amazing.
It's jwscotr.com, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and Justin did this all on his own without any help from us because none of us know how to create websites. And, and thank you, Justin. That's like the coolest thing.
Can you imagine what a website would look like that you and I created?
Oh, it would be the saddest thing you've ever seen.
The fucking worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Thank you very much. Justin, do you have an opinion on what we're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's 2 different judicial systems in this country. There's the actual legal judicial system, and then there is the almost as important court of public approval.
Right.
In my opinion, you take a look at what happened with Casey Anthony. Everybody knew that she killed her kid. Bitch killed her kid.
Yep.
But
I love
she was
that.
acquitted.
I wish the judge would have said that. Bitch
she will never work in this country again.
Yes.
Right.
Ever.
Yes.
So I think that it depends, a lot of which is upon the media, but I think that a lot of it depends upon the scope of knowledge of the public. And then we as viewers decide, okay, well, this is too much for me. I'm not going to tune in. That affects their ratings. The show goes off the air.
All right, Justin, let me ask you a question. And I don't remember the exact network. It might have, I think it might have been HGTV.
I mean, I didn't even know this story.
Might have been
HGTV
or something like that. Justin, but let me ask you this, right? There were 2 brothers. They might have been twins. They were fixer-upper house guys, but they also went on an anti-gay rant.
Yes.
Right? They were super Christian. They lost their show.
Yeah.
All right, going back to what you said.
Oh, yeah, on HGTV.
It was HGTV. Going back to what you said, I have a question for you. So do you think, because, look, do you think instead of HGTV taking them off the air, we should have left that up to public opinion and said...
Oh, for sure.
So you think, as abhorrent as those views are, that's their fucking views. The way we can affect change is just by not supporting them, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you're allowed to have opinions. They're fucked up opinions, but you're allowed to have opinions. I, as a viewer, knowingly would not have tuned in. I would have told all my friends, family, whatever, don't tune into this show. And it would have failed. And that, for me, would have been probably the best moment that would have come out of that whole issue.
I agree.
Absolutely.
To watch them burn.
And they would have felt that sting more because they would have felt like this came from 100%. Nobody watching me rather than a company freaking out. However, something about an opinion is a lot different than a violent crime.
Absolutely, but I will tell you this. I'll tell you this.
A lot of that goes back to the whole Duck Dynasty issue as well. I mean, you saw a huge public outcry based off. I don't watch that show, so it was one of the old guys with a beard.
Yeah.
said something about gay marriage being equal to sodomy or whatever they usually spout.
Having sex with a dog.
And Annie,
Phil,
Annie took them off the air, and there was a huge outcry. So again, I think that goes back into the court of public opinion.
I'll tell you something, Justin.
That case was a little interesting. It was a weird thing because, although believe me, I don't agree with anything he said. What they did do, which they often do in the media, and again, what he said was, you start with this, and then you continue on to other things in the Bible, that sodomy, this and that. So he wasn't. I don't believe that he was comparing them, but he was listing things in the Bible that say it's still
opening Pandora's box.
Yeah, it's still he still obviously has a very I'm not defending him. I'm just saying there was this weird sort of twist of it. However, he did say it leads to this, which kind of in a way still compares it.
Justin, though, I agree with you 100%. Though, you know what's more powerful? If you let the network do our work for us, right, Sarah? If you go, the network is taking us off. That means those people can say things like, "Oh, the liberal media made them," or this. But if they
just failed by us stopping,
if they fail because of us, to me, it's so much more of a powerful statement for us to go, okay, it wasn't the so-called liberal media, it wasn't the pressure that the Democrats, whatever. It was America saying to you, we're not okay with you saying that.
Yeah.
To me, that's so much more powerful because you know what else? To me, the networks they're scared, as I guess they should be, but they treat us like children. And you know what? Let us show you what we like and what we don't like. I think it's a more powerful statement.
Well, but the only thing is with this, you'll never even know. Like people, I mean, I wouldn't even know. So
with this
people
one,
are going to watch this Wayne Wilson show and have no idea.
It's all over the internet right now.
Well, the thing is the people our age probably wouldn't.
When you say our age, which one? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking about you old fogies. But what I would say is that the people who are watching this show don't care, and they're the 13-year-old girls who follow them on Vine.
The Vine girls, by the way, and that's another thing that's a little disturbing. Is it's the same Chris Brown phenomenon. It's a certain generation of young girls who are not maybe you're too young to get it. But I don't know. But they're supporting these people 100% no matter what, and they're not looking at as women or girls what's happening. Do you know?
No, I mean that's happening complete. I mean that's just happening in our youth, like completely. Like it's terrifying. People are becoming desensitized because of the internet, and they just bash whoever and yell at whoever, and then someone with a ton of followers is just God, and that's all they care about. Like it's a very fucked up. You know, it's terrifying, is what it is.
Well, have you seen the events these
people
are going to?
A big issue here as well. Who the heck gets famous off of fucking Vine?
A lot of people.
Whoa! Just kidding. No, it's weird. There are a few that still. I kind of thought Vine. I was like, I think I'm the only one still making Vines, but there are like some people that have like million, like that Rudy Mancuso. I don't know if he's on this show or I don't know who's on this show, but there are some people that have a bunch of them still. Yeah, it's weird. But I think like you're saying, Justin, it's like a younger, like I think it's like a younger thing. But I mean, I agree with you. Did Duck Dynasty come back on? I never ever watched.
Their ratings are dropping like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, those people are just living in the fucking 1800s as far as their opinions. But
Justin, let me ask you something. So where do you fall with this? Do you feel like the guy, look, he is fucked up as our judicial system is. He went through it. Now it's up to he has the right to work, and now it's just up to the people here in Hollywood if morally and ethically they want to work with him. Is that where you fall on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, personally, I would say cut his dick off and send him to some island, but that's not how we do things here.
Right.
For me, it's you can work, you can absolutely do whatever you're quote unquote talented at doing. I, for one, just won't show up.
Right.
I won't be there.
To me, that's the most powerful thing.
Well, yeah, I do think that does make the biggest statement. Like, there's, you're like we've been saying this whole time. Like, people who got upset with the Duck Dynasty, you have to make a statement and say this isn't. You can't fucking say these things. And then the same with the HGTV guys. And this, you just have to go instead of letting. If the network's not going to do it, we have to do it. And just not watch.
Well, I think that if you don't do it that way, what you do is you create a huge base of quote unquote supporters for this person who don't know everything that had actually happened, who don't care to know, They think that he's really funny. They watch his vines, this, that, the other. But you have all of these uneducated people now empowered and pissed off.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is even scarier.
I agree.
And he just gets worse. He just gets worse.
But you give them power, right?
Yeah.
When the network takes him off, you're making him a martyr, right? When that happens, and that's when to me those people get more dangerous, because you're right, Justin. Is now the people that are following him, and he's a martyr. Now they're digging their fucking heels.
Well, this is all over. Did this just come? I mean, in this whole story,
all over the internet today.
If it's all over today, which I guess I wasn't paying attention to the internet, I was too busy grocery shopping for my mother and her 50 fucking page list. I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if he just ends up not on it. I mean, the minute they do panic, and if they see all this, they're going to be like, "Sorry, dude, you have to."
I
go.
wonder how it'll shake out, because that is true that they do. Hollywood does.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Collins, after it came out that he was, that Seventh Heaven guy, after all that came out, he got cut. His scenes got cut from something that he was supposed to be in, Up and Coming, and
Ted too.
Yeah, and all
he does. He is my new babysitter, which is weird.
Oh, it is weird, especially since you don't have kids that need to be babysat.
That's the weirdest part. Yeah. Justin, thank you very much for calling.
Justin, thank you, and thank you about the website, and I have more to talk to you about that. But you're awesome.
No problem, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right.
He's doing a whole.
Kill it in Burbank.
Thank you. Kill it in Burbank.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, you're doing a show tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing a show at 7:30 at Flappers in the Yoo-Hoo room. Yoo-Hoo.
We're doing a charity benefit for Joe Coy tonight.
Oh, it's for Joe?
Well, it's for lupus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Michael Cox wrote me that all these people were doing it, and I was like, oh, it seems like a lot of people that I know that I didn't get asked. To be on that.
Because when you said you had a show at 7:30, that's why I was surprised that here was in Burbank. Because I thought you were going down with me, but apparently you're not doing that show. You're doing the one in Burbank.
I always thought Joe and I were buddies, but, no big deal.
You know what? Just for that, do you want to do an impersonation of him being Asian?
I don't know. I can't do it. You have to do it. I can't do it.
Would you want to do your Irish impersonation?
Why don't you do me calling you to ask Joe Coy why I didn't get on this.
I'm Joe and you're you. Okay.
And I want to know why I didn't get booked.
Make the ring noise.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey Joe, it's Sarah Colonna.
So who?
Colonna, Sarah Colonna. We were on a ton of round table.
Sarah Corona.
Yeah, Colonna.
Corona.
Colonna.
Corona.
Okay. So I heard you had this big charity event at the Improv tonight.
I'm going through a tunnel. Can't hear you.
About right.
I'll talk later.
I love that Joe Coy has the most American accent in the world. But that's how we're gonna make him sound.
Do you know what I do whenever I go to? By the way, did you see the thing I put on Instagram of me peeing on Joe Coy's headshot? Mm-hmm. When I go into a club, I take his.
You did. Yes.
I take his headshot out of the little thing on the wall. And I pee on it whatever club I'm in, and I pee. I put it in the urinal and I pee on it. I pee right on his face.
And they don't have another one to replace it.
That's not my problem. And then I just send him. I send it to him and say, "Just thinking of you. We're having a great time in Omaha." It's one of my favorite things to do.
It's nice to do, except poor Joe Coy's been to all these clubs and there's no record of it anywhere.
I mean, the dude sells 8,000 tickets wherever he goes. He doesn't need that fucking headshot. But it's so fun to do.
It is funny.
But I'm an asshole.
But that's nice. So you guys are doing Benefit You and Fortune, right?
I think it's me and Fortune. I think it's everybody that was ever on Chelsea except for you.
I think it is, actually. So
it's me and Fortune, Jiffy, Joe, Ben Glebe, Clisa Flandula. No, it's not Clis.
Interesting.
But we're at Clis. I was by the way.
That's interesting. If you please say to Joe that we were just doing a podcast together, and then I heard that you were going to do this, and I'm glad I'm not doing it because I actually love lupus. I want people to have it.
Mm-hmm. You put lupus in your drink, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I put lupus.
Did you ask for that with extra lupus?
Yeah, I put it in everyone's drink.
Can I have? I'd like an iced tea with extra lupus.
Oh my god! Speaking of drinks, ordering them. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I mean, I feel like this is probably some sort of everyone always talks about this, but the fucking person in front of me a couple days ago at the Coffee Bean, they needed every fucking drink explained to them. What the fuck is happening? Why do you need, if it says vanilla latte, what the fuck do you think is in that?
Vanilla coffee, and milk.
Okay. And if you've never, ever, if your world is so rocked by the words vanilla latte, once vanilla latte is explained to you, do you need mocha latte explained to you too? Or do you think you can fucking put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, I've actually never heard of a latte before, but if a vanilla one is a vanilla latte, then I guess a mocha one is a fucking mocha latte.
Sarah.
This is what you get mad all you want about that rapist. I got a real beef with this.
Did you?
Nobody. I hope.
Do you have a real Mongolian beef with this?
Yeah. If Rainn Wilson ever hires that fucking person, he'll have a problem.
What did you say? Maybe you should just sort of stick.
I just stood behind them like I was in a having a panic attack, wondering when this was going to be over.
What is
By
worse?
the time it got down to pumpkin latte and they were still asking questions, I was like, I'm going to kill myself.
What's
right
worse?
Here.
That person?
And right before I kill myself, I'm going to tap on that person's shoulder and go, "This is your fault. Live with this," and then blow my brains out so that they have to go home and remember that.
Right before you pull the trigger, are you going to go, "I'm going to tell you what's in a vanilla latte right now," and then kill yourself? So she never knew. She'd be like, "What's in it?" What's worse, that person, or the line at Starbucks or In-N-Out? Because for those of you who don't know, In-N-Out basically has 5 things on the menu, right?
I don't think even 5 things.
Well, they have 5 things, but they have a whole secret menu, and fuck them. That's their fault.
Yes, but when someone comes up to the menu, and the line is forever, and then they go and the first time they look at the menu is when they get up front.
That's worse.
Fuck you.
That's
Yeah.
worse.
That drives me fucking banana. When somebody, the group of 4 people, right? You've been in line at In-N-Out or Starbucks. You've been in that line. It's like a 20-person line. You get up, they're right in front of you, and then the 4 people go, "What do you want? What are you gonna have?" I don't know.
That's my
Oh,
head explode. When I was bartending, I
used to walk away from those people.
Oh, I bet it was so busy, right? Like it would be so busy, and nobody could ever complain that I didn't get drinks out fast enough. I was like one of the fucking fastest. So
Whoa, take it easy.
I was.
Why'd you look so mad when you said that?
That's all the lupus in her drink.
Yeah, it's the lupus.
You need to
Lupus
cut back on
gets
the
you
lupus a little
angry.
bit.
Yeah. So I would when someone would flag me down when I was super busy, even though I know what order you came in because I'm looking. None of those fucking fun speakeasy bartenders look, but I look.
Well, that's because they're too busy with their bolo ties and their
and their
vests.
suspenders. They're all, I gotta tighten my suspenders, and then maybe I'll get peripheral vision. So I would look. I would go down.
Sarah is just wants to fucking kill somebody today.
Oh, Joe Coy is so mad at Joe Coy. So I would go down to that whoever's flagging me down because I knew every time what they were gonna do. Flag me down and then ask what your friends want.
That's the worst.
I worked at a movie theater for off and on for like 4 or 5 years.
Did you work concession? They did that? That would drive me crazy.
They would do that on like Friday, Saturday nights when it really hasn't changed forever. And then the other worst one was when there's a group of like 10 people and one person orders and then another person orders and you have to keep going back and forth and get like 18 popcorns. So I would just have a system whenever I saw like a group of kids, I'd be like, how many kids are getting ices? And then they'd always ask
for a group. You know what I had?
That's smart. I wish that's another thing at Coffee Bean, and I guess at Starbucks too. Stop bringing your 15 kids in there. Bring them to get frozen yogurt so the rest of the adults can get fucking coffee. Yeah. When you get your stupid. It's like 10 of them the other day. 10 little ones right in front of me. Like, what's it? Fuck you. Go to the frozen yogurt shop.
This is why
maybe
I need my coffee.
Maybe they want a frappe.
Get one at the frozen yogurt shop. Get it, take it home, and put it in a fucking blender.
You know, I heard somebody ask the other day. I was in the movie theater at the concession stand. Someone in front of me asked. This is the question. Excuse me, how do you make your popcorn? And the guy, it looked like the guy working by the counter. It looked like his fucking head was going to explode. He goes, "What?" And he was like, you could see him. There was a half confusion and half, I want to fucking choke this person out. And the guy goes, how do you make your popcorn? And he stepped to the side and he pointed at the popcorn machine. He goes, "In that thing." And the guy goes, "Yeah, I understand, but do you know what heat you cook it at?" And the guy was like, "What?"
I pressed the go button.
Yeah.
I put kernels and I put oil in.
He was like, because I don't like it if you cook. He named a temperature. He was like, I don't like it when you cook it. If the oil is at whatever temperature, he goes, I don't like it.
How about you get some red vines? And
Yeah.
go fuck yourself?
You know what? M&Ms come cold. If you don't like it too hot, M&Ms.
Who asks a question like that?
So many people.
Really?
We had to
so
put
bad. What temperature do you cook your popcorn at?
The one that makes it explode from a kernel into a delicious piece of popcorn.
We had to put a sign on our hot dog maker that this is not a register because it was at the front of where all the registers are.
Maker.
And then people would come up and try to order from you when you were getting hot dogs. We're like, no, it's a hot dog maker. I don't have a register here. And then once I had to get a manager to explain to a woman why I couldn't sell her a hot dog that wasn't yet at the legal temperature to cook it, because it has to be like the 165.
Don't do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And people, and like they did, like she wanted it at like 50 degrees, so we had just put it on the roller.
She wanted raw meat,
basically. And then the best
If you
one.
want to eat raw hot dog, go to the store and buy some and put them in your purse, and then you go
Well,
off.
no,
at the movie
she
theater.
wanted it hot, but we just didn't have any, and she didn't like that it wasn't going to be ready for about 20 minutes. But my favorite one that my dad still quotes was a Saturday night. It was like a 20-minute line. This guy said, "Do you have any nonpareils?" Which I had learned as snow caps, and we just didn't. And he said, "Do you have nonpareils?" I said, "No."
what are they called?
Nonpareils. That's what they're called. But then he said, I said no. He said, "Well, you have ruined my movie going experience," and left. It was my it was my favorite ever night.
Like it was
Oh,
your
what a
fault?
dickbag.
Well, not only that was my fault, but I just liked that he like didn't.
Why
look
do you
at the
call it a
candy display.
nonpareil?
Because he was 80 years old, and that's what they were called when they were.
Well, he
Should have
probably
said
died.
well, they probably have some Werther's originals around the corner if you'd like to
Yeah,
get
exactly.
those. And then go fuck
I could
yourself.
talk
They
for
have some
hours.
hard toffee
I hate when
candies.
people. I know. I love when people. Well, you have ruined my experience. Oh, go Yelp about it, you dumb cunt. Get out of my face, so the person behind me can get their snow caps
Let
or
me.
whatever it is they're called.
You use the word cunt.
Yes, I love that word. Cunt.
I do
It's
too.
underused. Cunt,
I agree.
Cunt.
Why I
face.
can't quite understand why we've decided it's such a bad word.
It's not. It's
I think it's
not.
a
No, not if someone's being a cunt.
I agree. It works really well. The word cunt can work really well.
It's so funny. I was watching because I was watching a.
Why are you whispering it? Say it loud and proud.
Cunt.
Cunt.
Ooh.
When someone's being a cunt, they deserve to be called a cunt. It's just
I also
calling
like
someone
the
a dick.
description of cunty. You're being kind of cunty.
Yeah.
Cunty, I like you. I like that.
A lot of girls take it very personally.
Yeah.
I would not.
But my,
I would
but my,
still.
gr-
If
my
someone
girlfriend
says
said it this week, and I was like,
She
yes.
said what?
She said someone was being a cunt, and I got excited. I was like, yes. Because I
Was
had,
she referring to you?
No.
Okay, good.
Luckily, no.
It's so funny though because I was watching a stand-up special. Who was I watching? Jim Jefferies. What do I say? Like
Oh,
that?
Jim Jefferies.
Jeff Jefferies. But because he's Australian, he uses the word cunt like he's like he uses it to talk about the vagina, and it's a little jarring at first because you're like, oh, like it's to me that's a gross. I don't like it to think of a vagina because like I don't want my vagina to be called a cunt. Like I know that's what it is technically.
What would you like it to be called?
Just something.
Sally?
Sally.
Samantha?
Sally. Yeah, Sally's a nice. Hey, Sally.
He said, "Hey, let me see that
Ooh,
Sally."
Sally can wait.
Yeah.
Or isn't that?
Mustang Sally.
Yeah, Mustang.
well, what do you guys
Sounds
think
like my
about?
vagina's fast and convertible.
And uses a lot of gas.
Speaking about stuff comics say on stage, what do you think about that Hannibal Buress, Bill Cosby thing?
I know. Well, listen, Bill Cosby has been getting a pass for a long time because the truth of the matter is he has had a lot of assault accusations and it's never come out. And this isn't the first time he's told that joke. Like I've heard him tell that joke before, so I don't know what the big deal is now.
Yeah. Well,
But-
someone recorded it.
Oh, is that what it is? And Hannibal's a funny fucker. I got no problem with it. I mean, Cosby's getting a free pass for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about people still working with people who have been accused of rape. I mean, I read an article a while ago, and it was really intense, and like apparently, I mean, it's just the money thing you're talking about.
But it's
He has so
all-
much money.
It's not black and white, guys. It's money, no money. That's it.
You know what is black and white? Pudding pops.
You know what else is?
But-
Michael Jackson's album.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the words? I was gonna start singing it, but I couldn't remember
I
any
don't
of
know.
them.
It's black.
My baby.
It's white.
my- I think that's the first time I was like, "Whoa, she."
That was on tune? In tune? Closer.
You were in the parameters of
range?
tune, yeah.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah, congrats.
for me.
I know. This is a huge moment.
Yeah, I've never been on
But your
tune
eyes
before.
are open.
That's because I got that eye lift. Renee
Don't say it. Big time. Big time.
Big time.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I'll never make.
Oh,
twice.
that's my favorite. We both looked because I was like, "What time is that?" All right,
Oh
no,
yeah,
it's
we
fine.
got to wrap it up.
Well, pretty soon, like a couple more minutes, if you want. Or is that? Oh no, because yeah. We both are. You're going to do a Lupus Foundation.
I'm doing an important charity, and you're
Yeah.
going to
Burbank to run my 1 hour special. By the way. So it is important. It's more important than lupus.
1 hour, not so special.
I did it Sunday night, and I have to say in Burbank in the main room, and it was. I have to say, I'm like now I can't. I wasn't sure I was going to feel, but now I can't wait to tape the special. And not that I haven't been. I mean, I've never done one, and I do stand up fucking all the time, and I do an hour when I do it. But
Michael Yo was invited to do it too. I'm just looking at Joe Coy's tweet.
I'm seriously, you have to say something to him. You have to make fun of him. I just want to get an apology text and then also be like, "What? I never said anything."
I'm gonna say,
Joe.
I'm gonna be like, Joe. Sarah understood, me and Jiffy, and understands fortune. Just wants to know why you think Michael Yo is funnier than her.
No, I like Michael Yo.
But listen, Sarah. I think it's, first of all, you haven't aired it yet, so I mean, to call it special is really presumptuous.
That's what it's called.
I mean, it's not special yet, is it?
I'm excited now to do it because I just was like, at this point you have so much material, and most of it hasn't been on TV, to where you're like, oh God, I have a lot to choose from, sort of. But of course, I want to do the stuff I'm having more fun with, which is more of the stuff I've been doing this year. But I just wasn't positive exactly. I was like, I wonder if it's going to flow together well. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
When are you filming it?
November 7th. You can bring your parents.
Where?
Jiffy's coming, and not Joe Coy. At the El Portal here in Burbank.
All right.
Beautiful theater.
Listen, guys, this weekend I'm going to be in Nashville at Zany's with Jiffy, with the Wild Wolf Band. We put out our Say Something parody video. It's on Funny or Die. It's on YouTube if you Google or Say Something Wild Wolf Band. We also have some, I cannot say who, but we have some very cool special guests. Just think Nashville. Think what happens in Nashville. Think of the scene in Nashville. We have some very cool special guests that'll be coming down this weekend and will be singing with us.
Luke Bryant?
Will be singing with us on stage. Will be getting on stage with us. So it'll be a good weekend. 23rd, 24th, 25th. And then Jiffy and I are doing college. We're doing Northeastern on the 28th. And everything else, comedianjoshwolf.com.
I have Portland. I have Helium in Portland on Halloween weekend. And then after that, I have Rapid City, South Dakota, which I've never heard of, but very excited to go, November 14th and 15th.
Is that a club?
Uh-huh. And after that, you can go on my website, too, sarahcolonna.com. And my book is up on Amazon, and you can pre-order it. I mean, even though you don't have to.
The cover looks
come
great.
out until March 31st.
Your legs look really good.
Yeah, someone wrote me and was like, oh, you got to love Photoshop. And it was like, actually, that's how my legs look.
Yeah, no, her legs look like that. Your legs, you look really good.
Did
you leave him a good Yelp?
No, just kidding.
Did you Yelp him?
No, I
wish we could
I got in a
Yelp.
fight with him until they apologized to me. It was great.
Really?
Yeah, well, because he was like, he was like, gotta love Photoshop check mark, and then I first went off, and then I just deleted his comment because I was like, I just don't want that on there. And then he was like, hey, my comment's gone, and I wrote back, yeah, because it's rude and shitty. And then he was like, oh, I was just kind of joking around. Like, yeah, but I worked an entire year on a book, and the cover just came out, and that's the last thing I need is like a shitty comment on it. And he was like, you just kind of ruined, like I was excited. And he was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. And then a little emoticon with flowers. And I was like, oh my God, we're totally friends now.
He didn't do the steaming pile of poop with a smile on it.
But those are fun too.
Emoticon, this poop with eyes makes me laugh every time I see it.
Yeah. The more will come about our website for this show, which
Yes.
is important. And that's, thank you, Justin, again. And I will get more information as it comes, and we'll tweet about it and talk about it more and get more things on the website. And because I know Justin needs some information to help him with. And we're also going to speak to our friend Mark Ward soon.
Yes, and we also are going to, and if Justin's listening, I have some ideas with how we can make our website very interactive with the people who watch and listen to the show. So
if you're listening, Justin, don't worry about whatever Josh says. Just keep doing what you do because he doesn't know.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So, but I have some interesting ideas for that. But it also, guys, if you are online and you're searching for our website, you should also go to the website for WazyGifts.com.
Well, you almost said Wazy Dicks.
WazyDicks.com is a different
website.
That's I actually already have that website, Wazy Dicks.
Yeah.
Same promo code.
Mm-hmm. Same promo code, OTR, and we'll send you a Wazy Dick. Wazy Gifts is amazing. I mean, Let's Lee got his yarmulke.
Oh, yeah. Someone sent this to me. Look.
Oh, a Boston Red Sox yarmulke.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I know. I was very excited when I
It
got
looks like it should be online, but it looks like it's like for a little.
Oh, is that from New Era? That is New Era. They did. That's the 47.
Yeah.
That
Hilarious.
is so cute.
And so waysygifts.com, everybody.
I've never thought a
They should
yarmulke
get
was
this.
cute before.
It's very. Oh my God.
If you're listening to this on iTunes and can't see this, I suggest you find the link
That
on the Ustream
is
link to our podcast and
amazing.
rewatch this so that you
It's
can
my favorite
see
gift ever.
Lee.
Lee, you look adorable.
Adorable. Oh, look at your booty.
You should wear that all the time. And not
And
only
that's
that,
from Wazy Gifts?
No,
No, this
that
is
would be
just-
good if Wazy Gifts had it.
They should add it.
WazyGifts.com, guys. You go. It's the easiest gift you'll ever find in your life. The gifts are phenomenal. They're very cool. It's not something you see every day. You can't go to Target and find these gifts. They're not that expensive, but if you want a more pricey one, they have those too. But they also have ones at the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
and
you put
everything
in the
you look
age
for.
range and male and gender of the person, and then it comes up with all these
How much you want
suggestions
to spend?
Yeah, ask you how much you want to spend, and you can sit. Never
Yeah.
mind. I just had a stroke again.
Yeah, I know. Sarah's had 2 strokes. But WazyGifts.com, everybody, and go there and put in OTR as the promotion code, and you get 20% off. Now, my brother's website, redbins.biz, that's S-Bins, biz-Z. Apparently, OTR doesn't work, but Off the Rails does. One of those two works, and I'm not sure which one. Just hitting the promo code, Off the Rails or OTR. Guys, amazing, very cool sports gear. And the T-shirts, and
You should stock up on these.
they're the fucking...
Do they have any Seahawks stuff? I need some new Seahawks stuff.
Yes, it's the most, and he'll bring you some stuff. It's the most comfortable stuff you'll ever put on. So go to redbins.
Does he need to know what size my breasts are before he can send me anything?
I gave him like a plaster cast.
That's in your Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
Right next to how
It's
you can handle a dick. But I think that's it. What else? We got anything else?
Lee?
I just redid my website, including a page for Off the Rails. So if you go,
Thanks, Lee.
you're welcome. If you go to LeeSyatt, SYATT.com, there's a link to all the Ustream if you want to watch them for the show, or if you want to subscribe to this show, it's on that as well. And then also a CD I edited for a very funny comedian named Steve Simone.
Oh, he is super funny.
Literally just got put on pre-sale. So if you look for Steve Simone on YouTube, I'd appreciate it.
Can you also add maybe a photo of yourself with that yarmulke to your website?
I could.
Thank you.
Now, would this have been my week for Shuffle, or was it your week?
No, it was my
That was
week.
her week.
All right, so you would know. I'm glad.
It was my week, and by the way, that was a story of my life by One Direction is what came up on my iPod.
This is what
and
would have
I'm
come
39.
up on mine. Ready? You won't know it.
I feel like I would like it. What is it?
Okay, so Prince put out 2 albums at once.
It was Prince last week too. That's
It
why
came
I
up.
remember
It came up. But he
so
put out
annoying.
he put out 2 albums at once. One is he considers it futuristic, and one is this.
I mean, I kind of like that, but but it's so annoying with your Prince. I don't know why.
I'm sorry. Should I have tried to find my One Direction?
Yeah.
What's the other one called? One Direction and Yawkey? What's the other one?
What's Yaki?
I'm a little bit behind on my One Direction listening.
No, but there's One Direction and the
I got a One
Wanted.
Direction
Wanted.
t-shirt.
Wanted.
I got a One
Wanted.
Direction T-shirt in the mail. It started as a joke, but now I have it, and
tell you
I'm
this-
pretty sure I'm going to wear it soon.
I have One Direction for that T-shirt. It's in my asshole.
And it's across my tits.
Guys, thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Oh, and then listen to our Q&A that just.
Oh yeah, our Q&A just went up yesterday, and I'm trying to make
It's
sure.
one of my favorites.
I'm trying to make sure I go to all the people that we answer the questions to via our Twitter account, and let you know what we answered it.
Via.
Did I say via?
I think it is via.
Via.
Caribbean,
Tomato, tomato.
Caribbean.
I say Caribbean.
I say Caribbean too. Caribbean.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you're from.
And if you're Billy Ocean. Caribbean Queen.
Now
you
you dream the same thing.
Dream? And my
No more love on the
heart beat at
run.
one. No,
No
more
more
love
love
on
on
the
the
run.
run.
We're terrible. See ya.